Well, good afternoon, Saroj. Thank you very much for joining me for afternoon tea today.
Thank you, Karen, for inviting me. It's an absolute pleasure. Actually, I was just saying it's the first time I've ever been interviewed, so this is going to be interesting.
Ah, so my first question to you this afternoon is when did you start your holistic business and how did that come about? What inspired you?
Wow. So I actually really had to think about that question because um, you'll understand when I say this, and I'll go back to a little bit of the story about myself. Um, I will bring in dancing because that's an important part of my life, and that started very early in my life. And I help people when they were learning to dance, keep fit, and stuff like that. And then as I got older, I went into kind of business training. And then when I had my daughter, I started training in all sorts of different things, but mostly computers. However, I decided to do, I actually trained as a professional dance teacher, and then I went into holistic hair and beauty. So I'm qualified hairdresser and beautician. So and now I do more about mindset. So you're asking me when I started holistic therapy. I've just realized and wanted to answer to say I've been doing it all my life. I've been helping people improve the way they feel by movement, through dancing. I've helped them through mindset by standing on stage doing motivational talks, and I've taught and I've made them look beautiful and feel beautiful with massages and Reiki and quantum Reiki. So it's a full circle. So I
Mm,
can say I started really early, probably started teaching dance when I was about 12 in the local community.
mm-hmm,
So I've always been in the looking after yourself, helping people, and, improving because you're getting fitter as well, aren't you? So that is holistic. So I am a holistic mentor, really, and
mm-hmm,
business coach because I help people.
mm-hmm. So when did you start as well? You became a health mentor. What
Um,
exactly is a health mentor? I mean, I've heard of mentor, but I've never heard of health mentor. So,
because Yeah, sorry. Health mentor is, we're not just, when you're looking at health, we're looking at inside out of yourself, from whether it's your environment, your body inside, or your mindset, or how much physical activity you do, or exercise, or dancing, or even what you put into your body. So I decided to use that title because it encompasses absolutely everything. And that sort of like title was more recently, sort of like when I decided to rejig my my sort of business idea of what I want to do and to help people, especially with this current environment, and how I can help people even more so. Because I did run a salon for 14 years, and that's not something that I can do right now, and I gave that up. So it's not something I want to do, but I still want to help people, and this is where I feel I can really reach out and help people to
mhm,
just improve their heart health, their immunity, which is something that's really important. We've got to look after our hearts, and that's come along because I'm part of a affiliate program which helps to improve your heart health. And also, when I was on the dance floor, I was dancing most of the night. So you couldn't get me off there. When I'm salsa girl, so I love my salsa, and basically probably in the last 3 years I started having issues, and and then I started trying to figure out what was wrong with me. They couldn't tell me what was wrong, and basically I needed to find solutions. And with the products that I've had, it's really helped me to make that difference, and I can dance again. Maybe not all night, but I'll definitely dance a lot longer than and walk and do what I really enjoy. So, and that's why I'm a health mentor, because I can show you how to really improve your health.
good. So, You also somewhere say about water
Oh,
can
yes,
give you, you've got something that you put a card under that gives you energy. Is that
that's
right?
right. So part of my journey for recovery and improving my health, I've got something called a quantum card. I'll show you that here. So this is what it looks like. Um, this is a quantum card. And basically what this card is, it resonates with water. So when you get the glass of water, what it does, and you tap it, it brings the energy back into the water. So I actually leave it in the glass because it so reignites the normal energy that you would normally have in water from a well. And as a result of drinking that water and using that water with my food and everything that I do, it basically brought my energy back, because you're drinking water as if you're drinking water from the well. And you can use the water in your food, and which then helps you to improve, and it so brings the energy back into vegetables and stuff like that as well. So you can actually, it just re-energizes food. It sounds crazy, but it resonates with the water. It's the Schumann resonance and the different resonance in water. If you've seen those, I can't remember his name quite now, but he's done experiments with water and how that can change when you do different things to it and put sound to it. So it's using sound and this technology, grounding technology, and re-energizes the water. And it's made a huge difference. And it's just changed how I perceive my life. And it also affects your surroundings as well. So it was, you know, the radiation that you get from laptops and phones and microwaves, it reduces that as well. So that's makes a big impact on your body, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been amazing for myself. And I just want to show how people can use this for themselves, but also at the same time, as a therapist, I can use that in my treatments as well. When I do quantum reiki, it enhances the energy as well. So this card's amazing. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, and it doesn't. So you put the card actually in the water.
Yeah, I put it in my glass at the moment. I've got
But
a
doesn't the card disintegrate?
no. It'll last 20 years, the card does.
That's interesting. So it
And
can't be a normal piece of cardboard, can it? It's got to be.
no. It's
Oh, oh.
specialized. I think it's graphene, and I don't even know exactly for sure, but basically it resonates with the water and brings the energy back. You know, have you heard of tuning forks?
Yeah.
So it's almost the same as the tuning fork. So it resonates with the water, so it brings the energy back. And then if you drink that water, because bottled water is not good for you, because they might have taken it from the spring, but once it's in the water bottle, it just doesn't really, it loses all its energy.
Mm.
You might as well drink tap water. I'm sorry for those people who drink bottled water. You know, so basically that's what it is about. And you can use it in food. It helps the environment as well. It's like also you're connecting with the grounding technology. So like you know, when you, it's like you go to the seaside and you um if you go to the seaside and you put your feet in the water, or you put your feet on the grass, you're grounding. So it's grounding technology. So it's
Yeah.
incredible technology, and it's been, you know, it's been going around for about 20 years now. So
Mm.
it's phenomenal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And do your family help you in either of your businesses?
Good question. Well, I've got a very creative background, and obviously my children have taken that on board. And while I had the salon and I was like designing leaflets and stuff like that, they started doing a lot of artwork for me. So they did a lot of design work for me. They're graphic designers and game designers and into animation. So they do help and support me as well. And then my daughter helped me when I had my salon. She was working in my salon as well, so
Hmm.
she's fully trained.
Mm.
So I've had great support from them. Yes, I have.
Good. Good. And has the pandemic affected your businesses?
Um, well, yes and no. I think obviously we can't. If I wanted to do any treatments like I used to before, so if when somebody wanted to have their eyebrows done, then I wouldn't be able to do that right now. But also, I've actually sort of gained a lot as well, because I think obviously we can't go out that much now and go and meet people and hug people and see people and communicate as well as we used to. But this online networking has made a huge difference. I've met people I've never met before, and I wouldn't have traveled there because I don't drive. So if they're so far away, this has enabled me to connect with people. But I think the virus, the whole COVID situation has affected a lot of people. Nobody can say mentally it hasn't affected you, thinking about, is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? You're constantly questioning what you're doing when you're going out. Like I go for lots of walks, and yes, I take my quantum water with me. And but I've even written a poem about that, because I just felt the energies changed when you're walking along the road. People may not look up even, they may not even smile, and that's made a difference. And I just feel quite sort of I feel I feel concerned for people that they need to feel they have to cover up and live this life the way it is. Whether it's affected my business, I think my perception has changed of how I would move my business forward. It's helped me to think outside the box, and I think it's helped a lot of people to do the same.
Mm,
So as much as it has, unfortunately help some of these not help these some of these businesses, it's also turned a lot of people to think outside the box in a
mm,
way that you wouldn't have normally thought before, and
mm,
made connections which you wouldn't have. And I'm so grateful for that.
mm.
I'm so really, really grateful for that.
Good. And you said about your dancing. I assume that's been put on hold now and you no longer can dance, or have you thought out the box with that and do dancing at home?
Yes. Well, since I can exercise more now, I exercise for about an hour a day, hour and a half sometimes, even if it's not walking. And I do I dance at home, and I've had some incredible ideas of something that's coming along very soon regarding that aspect, and it's very exciting.
So to watch this space for
Yes. What's
Saroj's
one of my new
new
projects?
projects.
So it's all
Uh,
about health. Yes, it's all about health.
all about health.
Yeah.
So you also said in your bio about a book. So what's the book about? Have you got a launch date for that?
Okay, so it's kind of slightly changed direction. There is going to be a book, and everybody keeps saying, yes, I love your poetry. When are you going to publish your book? I am definitely going to publish my book. It's all around the poetry. It's about life. It's about energy. It's about how and this is I've been writing for about 2 years now. So, and it's quite interesting. It started because of some feelings that came up, a situation, and I started writing this poem, and I could not believe how this poem came out. And it was just like, I didn't write that, did I really? And one of my friends said I should publish it. So I thought, okay. And then it was so strange because I just woke up this morning and I looked in the mirror and these words just popped into my head, and I just needed to get in front of the computer and type. I don't know where it came from. It just happened. And then since then it's just been continually happening, and I've probably written over 100 poems. You know, and bit by bit I've gone out and I've done some open mics when we were able to, and that's how my passion for writing has come along. and I'm hoping to have it published probably April now.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Mm.
So maybe in time for Easter.
Yeah, maybe in time for Easter. Yeah, around my
Yeah,
birthday.
that's it. Um, so you said you've got some exciting projects. One of them could be the dance then, and they're top secret. Or are they top secret?
Oh, you would have to ask.
Yeah.
It's not.
What
No.
are the projects?
Well, there's one.
Exciting.
Okay, I've kind of touched on the one. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll expand on the one that I've already talked about, and
Yeah.
that's the dancing one. And I feel that you know, because of the energy that we need right now, there isn't enough energy that we feel we can go out there and do things. So my project is basically about empowering yourself through movement, through dance, and it's come along as a result of one of my poems, which I'm gonna launch together with the project. Okay, it's very poignant. It's very like how can I say, it's going to really make a difference. I know Karen's heard it. I think Mike and Jay has, maybe Steve not, and Mitra hasn't for sure. So and that is going to basically be combined with the dancing, because that's going to really trigger some different points about about different things.
Mm.
That's the dancing project, and then the other one is also based around your health, but in a different way. So it's combining my love for poetry, my love for creativity, and we're going to be building like video programs around creativity and conversations, and how people can be more creative themselves and sharing our creativity with others too. But there's going to be a lead up to a great surprise at the end.
Mm.
So yeah, you've kind of
Sounds,
like getting to
sounds
know a
really
bit more about the project.
exciting.
I'm not going to say everything because that would spoil the surprises.
That's it. That's it. But it sounds
But
really exciting.
and it's just so exciting because it's something that I'm gonna have my my sons are going to be involved, and they've done some stuff in the background, so it's really exciting because it's becoming a family project bit by bit. And also it deals with some of the current matters. Uh, I'm hoping it will help with people with mental health and creativity at the same time. So we're combining two beautiful elements around health and just having a different kind of mindset to moving forward, and delving deep inside of yourself to sort of really reach out and say how I or you can be more creative,
Mm.
you know, and how that's helped me really. 'Cause, like, my poems have been so when I write them, it's like I'm in this strange different place, and I just write, okay, and then but when I go back, I really cannot believe I've written that, and the depth of the words that I've written is just mind blowing, and it can be really moving sometimes as well.
Mm.
So it's very exciting, and I think if it can help me, maybe it can just if it just helps one person, I would be really happy to be able to impart that kind of knowledge or energy, helping people to improve their health and from inside out and find that light within themselves. I talk a lot about that in my poetry as well. Delving really deep and saying, you know what, you're okay. It's gonna be fine, and there is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's not in the tunnel, it's actually inside of you, and you can reach inside and say it's going to be fine, and I'm here to help, or find someone you can
Mm.
help that can help you, so that's really what it's about, really. And it's been maybe I don't journal, but maybe that's my way of journaling. I don't know, but it's very creative, and I've always been creative. So, and I've even had another idea today. So that's a new one.
Ah.
I'm like I'm like an explosion of ideas all the time. So I have to kind of stop sometimes to say, hold on a minute, do this bit first.
That's it. That's it.
Which is what I'm doing.
Oh. So, do you see your life as problems or do you see it as a challenge?
Um, I think it's about your mindset and your perception. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, it's very, very easy if somebody is having a really bad day and they're basically saying, oh my God, this is terrible. And do you know what? I am human. I can feel like that sometimes. And that is normal too. But what I do is I kind of encourage myself to say, you know what, okay, what am I going to learn from this? How can I find different things to do to make this problem something easier to deal with, and I can manage it and it'll be okay. And so really I don't see them as problems, I see them as challenges. And the moment I see it's a problem, I have to remind myself that this is not a problem, this is a challenge, this is a learning curve. And
Yeah.
this is how I would like to sort of express to people how they can manage further in their life, you know, better in their life.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So, I don't know whether you do it, but what personal development book would you recommend people read?
Oh, um, one of the first personal development books I've read is The Magic of Thinking Big. I love that. Think and Grow Rich. I only read little bits of that. I've read The Power, Susan Jeffers.
Yeah.
And there was another one that I did. She did before that one, and I can't remember the name right now. I haven't got it. I've given it away, so I've got that right now. But those few books, I think, depends on what you want to
Yeah.
read and learn.
Which would you recommend? Which is your best one?
Oh, I do like The Power.
The Power.
I
And
do like.
why is that?
I just like the way she talks about life and how you can overcome your challenges, and also the fact that not to be upset about what you're going through right now, you know, to embrace it, the emotion as well, but to move forward from it too. For me, that's very impactful because it's like reminding you not to stay in that place, not to keep, if you're feeling uncomfortable about a certain situation, to really pull yourself out and finding a way out. You know, appreciate it for what it is and take the lesson in, but you can get yourself out of it. That's what I really liked about it. And it's just knowing that you have power within you to 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 to, to improve yourself. I think that's really important.
Hmm. So, if you were to look back over your life, would you change anything?
Oh, let me think. um I probably would have wanted to spend more time with my dad,
Hmm.
um and just get to know him a lot more,
Mm.
you know, and spend more time with him. I did with my mom because obviously I was learning cooking and doing all those things, but my dad, like, you know, I would have liked to have known him more and have those conversations with him.
Mm.
Um, Not unless I can change my age and still have the knowledge now. I can try. I could
Yeah.
with my essential oils and all that kind of stuff
That's
anyway,
it.
mindset. But you know, if I could like bring back my youthfulness, that would be amazing. But
Yeah.
other than, other than that, you know, no, no, no.
So, how can people on the broadcast help you, or those listening to the recording help you?
Um, Well, I'm looking to set this project up and make this project live in a few weeks' time, and I would like maybe some support around that. If there's any ideas that they have as well. I will be doing some live interviews with people who are very creative and artistic, and I'd like to have them on board with the interviews that I do myself as well in the future, and even around mental health and health issues. I want to have conversations with them, because when I have conversations, it also helps me to create. I don't purposely sit there and say I'm going to write a poem or write any poetry, but it helps to create things. And I really like to dig deeper inside and see if there's any other avenues that I may be able to venture out with them, and just collaborations really, and having conversations if that's something that they'd like to do themselves. So that would be really cool. That would be great. And I just love meeting people anyway. So, I'd love to organize some one-to-ones and get to know each other and what you're doing. And you never know. You never know.
That's it.
So anything's
possible. If people need help, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, they connect with me on Facebook with my name, sarojkumari.com, Saroj Kumari or sarojkumari.com. They can connect with me there, and I've got a few links which I think we'll add to the video if that's okay. So connect with me there as well, so that's no problem at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does anybody in the audience want to ask any questions, Jay and Steve?
Can I just say, let me just take my video off. Can I just say, I mean, Saroj and I go back years, literally, and I'm her adoptive brother. She's my adoptive sister. We've got that relationship. We've made that pact. But yes, Saroj's poetry is absolutely beautiful. I don't know whether you want to share some today, whether you've got anything available to share. I think it would be lovely for others to hear. But what you were saying about, when you have a word come into your head, you've got to write it down, go on your computer straight away. Totally, as a fellow poet, totally resonated with you on that one. I know exactly where you're coming from. I think every poet, every writer will say the same. But yes, just want to sort of commend you on a great interview and on what you've done. You're a true inspiration to me. So thank you.
My pleasure, Jay. Made a difference. I'm really happy.
Thank you.
Well done. I must apologise. I think I blanked out my video and kept the mic on. So if I was making undue noises and blowing my nose early on, I do apologise. I suddenly looked up and realised, I thought, fortunately, you couldn't see me at the time. I'd love to know more about how you envisage this project of yours taking shape, Saroj.
Yeah, that's good. Maybe we can have a chat about that as well.
Yeah, well, I think we'd said about having a one-to-one.
Yeah, we're going to have a one-to-one. Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Good. But well done today.
Yeah.
First interview, did you say?
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm thinking, I don't think I've ever been interviewed. It's really weird. It's like I've interviewed other people, but I've never been asked to be interviewed.
Were you interviewed on the radio a couple of months back?
Yeah, but I think
forgot about that one, haven't you?
forgot about that one. But I think that's like, I don't feel like that's an interview. This is like on video as well. And yes, I was obviously interviewed there, but I didn't think about it that way. But yeah, so it's quite interesting. But that was more or less the same, but there was a lot of music involved.
Yes, it was a good show, and you've got a good taste in music. Yeah, so yes.
Well, music is life. It's life, isn't it? It's like it keeps you happy, or it can actually get you down if you're listening to the wrong stuff, if you allow it. So,
I can dance all night like you can. I don't know that salsa's my thing. I haven't done that.
Right, good. So we've got another dancer in the room. That's cool. Doesn't matter.
I love music as well.
Yeah, music's amazing. It's just changes your whole perception of life, I think, generally. And did you know? This is an amazing fact. I would like to research this a little bit more, but I've seen this video some time ago where they got these really sensitive microphones and they put them next to plants and they actually radiate kind of music, a frequency and a music with it. And I'm thinking, wow, that's phenomenal. I'd love to listen to more of that or research that again, because that's really cool. Because I've written poetry about a blade of grass, you know. So can you imagine just putting a mic next to a flower or something and just see what sort of sound or vibration or frequency that comes out from there? I think that's so awesome. It's just incredible. And I've seen this post today where one of my friend, it was like the tree and the bark was cut, but when it was cut open, it was the shape of a heart. And I'm thinking, so even though the tree is cut, it's still got love inside of it. And I was just like, that's so awesome. I love nature, and nature's been a lot of my inspiration as well. I can share a poem if you like. I don't know which one. What sort of stuff would you like to hear?
Go with the flow. You decide.
Something from your heart.
Things I've never heard it before.
It's all from your heart anyway. We know that.
I'll read. It's been a while since I read this one, but I'll read it. It's called Bliss by My Side. Close your eyes and feel the warmth inside. Delve deep and fall into your light. The shadows will be lost in the pure, divine, sublime, melting all the sorrows and tears away, like a feather just drifting away. Feel the flutter of the wings just bellowing beside your bright, beautiful divine. Flourish in the love you have that's just beaming so bright, touching each soul, knowing you have the infinity of truth and love by your side. Encompassing an honor of love to heal. Our universe is here, so we can rise with the ultimate true love truly by our side. Fear not, for I am here, your light, the divine, always by your side. When you look deep down inside, take a breath, just close your eyes as a light burns bright, just beautiful inside, like a torch always by your side. Know you're truly blessed with thy divine. Know I am here when you feel lost and lonely. A moment of solace is all you require in your time of needy. Stay for a few moments with your light. Have faith as the warmth of my arms are holding you so closely. Remember, fear is just fictionary and only temporary. Ease your mind and feel the clarity as the clouds clear to the subconscious, and you will cherish the transition that's sublime. Know you'll always be held by thy divine.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Lovely. Very nice.
Yeah.
There's one more I'll read because it's party in the pub. The storm and the candle. The candle flickering while I sit in the quiet of the room, thinking of your smile, your quaint ways and the look in your eyes, just like a candle flame would sway. You felt the warmth, the tender chasing sparkle to light any heart that may be broken. Through the light, I see the vision, the course of maybe even the mission. Is this for real or is it just a dream? Nothing to hide or even to sympathize. Maybe a flutter of the heart is just the start, just like a storm in a teacup. Mellow tinted brown fluid cascading into the pure white cup. just as the milk stirred in its churn, lifted by the motion. A drop or two just poured into the speckled brown mist, just raised a form of gigantic twister. All in a second, a beautiful ensemble. Rumbling storms, pale brown, forming clouds just like thunder, without any doubt. Then all of a sudden it was gone, mulled together with a rod, just a silvery shiny spike. One spoon or two, or nothing to declare. The storm in the teacup just settled there, just right there, just as calm as can be, as I wished I would be when he looked at me so innocently, with his wandering eyes and crazy laughter. We will see what happens, the storm in the teacup, or will it be a beautiful mystery?
Good.
Really good. You have a talent there, young lady.
That's it.
That was
I love your poetry. It flows so beautifully and so musically and rhythmically. Some people's poetry, I would say to a certain extent, even including mine, doesn't always flow. It can be a little bit erratic. That's my brain for you. But yeah, yours has got a beautiful flow and ebb and flow, and it's as restful as I can always imagine myself sitting on a rock on the beach with the tide coming around me, coming in and out, and you've got the sound of the tide. And that's what your poetry reminds me of.
wow.
Just reminds me of me like sitting on that rock with my legs crossed in a meditative pose, meditating, and it's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your book. I would like to say that, well, you've got my support. That goes without saying. But yes, I would like, yeah, if I can support you, even if it's just sharing your links. I'm here for you. Maybe I can interview on one of my podcasts. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Like the soul who wrote it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I think yeah, that should be okay.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Maybe I could do one more, and I think this is really
Okay.
because of the current situation. I think I'd like to share this one to
Okay.
help you to maybe feel. Well, let's just see. It's called Being Alone Really. You may think you're alone, but know I am with you, by your side. I'm in your stride. I'm holding your own, guiding if not following. I'm the light that shines bright. I'm the one and only, the shadow, the dawn, the lighting that raises the belief inside, the one that holds your hand and holds you together. I'm the one that whispers, you can. When you've lost hope and only feel sorrow, I'm the one with divine intervention inside of you, the light that shines bright when you feel the world isn't on your side. Now I am with you. I create the warmth, the passion, the goals that will follow. You are the one that carries the I am, the divine hero inside. Know the light that shines bright is by your own inside.
Lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I read that one on the mental health project that I was on.
Absolutely lovely, Saroj.
Thank you.
Super.
Thank you.
To sort of just help people say you're not alone, really. We may feel that we're alone right now with all the kind of things that are going on, but you're not. You can reach inside of yourself, and there's a divine being inside of you, and a light. If you don't want to believe in the divine, there is still a light inside of you. You were here, you were born, you were here to survive, and keep going. And,
I went to a PTSD coach for about 5 years, and my PT, you can hear me, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
And my PTSD coach told me exactly something similar along to exactly what you're saying, Saroj, is that when you're dealing with certain issues, right, and there's times that are problematic, you have inside you your inner child, which is your childhood, your baby boy. It's everything that you remember over the years growing up, and that's inside you, and you need to look after that. And that's your heart, your being, your, as exactly as Saroj said.
that's interesting.
We all have our inner child, which is all of our memories, all of the things that we have from growing up and everything else. And it's our beliefs, it's our understanding, our goodwill towards people, our, best wishes and anger and everything else. And that's your inner child, and you've got to look after little departments and put them in the right boxes. And if there's negative stuff coming into your life, what you need to do is put it in a little box at the back of your head. It's gone. Forget it. Move on.
Isn't that a bit like that Disney Pixar movie? I can't remember what it was called, but the one with we were taken inside the little girl's mind, and she had the different characters. I can't remember what the movie was called. But there was anger, there was happiness, I think there was excitement, and there was a fourth one as well. But just reminded me of that. So I was going to say what you were saying about the trees, Saroj, about communicating music and sounds. Reminded me of two things. First, it reminded me of an episode of Tales of the Unexpected I saw when I was a child. I don't know why my parents allowed me to watch that, because it always used to give me nightmares. I was only about 10. But there was an episode where this guy invented this machine, and he could hear things that were out of the human range of audibility. He could actually hear the plants communicating. Wow. And he saw this guy chopping his tree down, and the tree just roared out in pain. My mate at school, we spoke about it the following day at school, and we said, just imagine if you were mowing the grass. But on a more serious note, they've actually discovered that when a plant is either under attack by some kind of animal or insect or something, or swarm of insects, or if it's being visited by helpful animals that are going to pollinate it, it actually sends out chemical messages to its fellow plants to tell them either attack, danger is imminent, so send out telling them to release the repulsive hormones and chemicals to repel the attacker, or if it's like a friend, like to pollinate, it'll send out the signals. They communicate chemically and with pheromones, they've discovered.
But there's a lot of flowers that do that as well, because birds pollinate from one to the other. That the flower lets out a scent to say, I'm gorgeous, I'm attractive, come and, and they've got these little tentacles, and when the bird sticks his head in, some of the juice dump and it pollinates another. So that makes sense.
Just goes to show how amazing we are as beings, and the planet Earth and the whole and everything around us just grows. Whether we want it to not, we're going to get older anyway. But the thing is, we're still growing inside, and there's so much energy inside that can actually help us to improve from within, and that's more important. And if you consider your surroundings as a a means to help you to improve as well, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be okay. And it's having that positive attitude as well, having that focus, and not spending that time in that place where you're feeling really low all the time. It's like reaching out and just doing one little thing differently every single day to basically get yourself out of whatever you're feeling or doing which isn't helping you. It's a one little thing that you do.
A friend, Saroj, a friend in Ireland, she does a lot of work with community councils and different sort of people, disabled or whatever. And she used to say to me, smile.
That's right.
Be lazy, smile. What do you mean? She's like, well, you use less muscles smiling than you do frowning. So just be lazy, smile and feel good. All right. And that's very true.
Well,
you may think this is very sad, Mike, but apparently it's 42 muscles it takes to frown and only 7 to smile.
Yes, that's right. That's exactly what she told me.
Yeah.
That's
But it's interesting. It's interesting that, we're all working in fields where we're supporting and helping other people.
Mm-hmm.
And, if you look at most people's businesses, even if they have a product or whatever it is, on some level, they're helping other people.
Yeah.
And yet so many of us pay such little attention to taking care of ourselves. I just believe that I can't serve my clients properly or support my friends or my loved ones if I don't take care of myself first.
that's right.
The first step should always be self-care.
Yeah.
Because that way you're always at your best. And it's a bit, I think I said the other day, I was talking about communication on my workshop, if you want to inspire somebody, it involves a transfer of energy from one to another. So in that same way, if you don't have that energy inside you, you can't support other people. You're more likely to actually have an adverse effect if you're not right than you are to have something positive. You need to have that positivity and that security and that comfort and that confidence and that place of non-expectation, but just of allowing things to take place, allowing the universe's energy to flow.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people won't pick it up from you.
I'll tell you a story. When I had, were we all right for time, Karen?
Yeah, we're okay.
I've got something really soon in about 4 minutes, so I'm kind of running about.
The story was when I was working in the salon, and there was this lady. She used to come in to have some treatment, like reflexology, I think it was. And she was somebody who worked in the industry, so. I would expect this person to understand that if she cancels an appointment, then she may have to pay like a fee. Because at that time, I was getting very busy and I had to sort of like do that. So I mentioned it to her on the phone that, if you don't do that, then I'll have to charge. She goes, all right, I'll come in anyway. So she come into the salon. And when she came in, she was really angry. So I'd got the room ready to do the reflexology. And she goes, well, I told you I wasn't very well. And I said, did you? I didn't realise. So I hadn't realised that's what she'd actually said. So a bit of my fault as well. But she said, well, I decided to come anyway. And I thought, okay, that's fine. So I went back into the room, made sure everything was set up, and what I did was I set the intention that she was going to have an amazing treatment. But I could have felt really bad about myself and thought, oh my God, it's going to be really hard to do a treatment. If she's feeling like this, I can't send this energy out. So I had to set the intention that I'm going to give her the best treatment ever. So she came in, she had the treatment. And you know what? She came back the following time and she goes, you know what? That was the best treatment ever. She actually said it because I set the intention. And the energy was for me to make sure I gave her the best. I didn't care what she felt at the time, and I wasn't going to take that energy on board. And as therapists and as coaches and as mentors, we need to be conscious of how we're feeling when we're serving others. And it is all about intention. And you're right. You've got to learn to look after yourself first.
Mhm.
If you don't look after yourself, then you can't look after anybody else, not properly anyway. You can't give. You can't expect to. What do they say? It's an exchange of energy, isn't it? Whether you're providing a treatment or you're helping somebody or you're doing, it's an exchange of energy, and that energy, your tension always have to be good, no matter what. And also expect if it's not going to be good, it's not going to be good. But don't keep beating yourself up about it.
No.
Sometimes it doesn't work. You can't always be perfect. So just you can do the best you can. So that's what I say. You can do the best you can. But if it's not, and you've done the best you can, it's not good enough for somebody, then, it is what it is. Don't beat yourself up afterwards either. So there is a lot. It's really important to have the right type of energy when you're working with people. Strongly agree with that. And
You obviously talk about water, and water's important. Which I agree. I always have a glass of water on the go at all times. I've got them scattered around the house, so they're always there when I need them. But have you heard of Dr. Masaru Emoto?
yeah, that's what some of this card is based on.
Yeah, it's quite incredible.
I couldn't remember the name.
But it's that whole, intention and how water itself can pick up on the emotions that are surrounding it.
That's right. Yeah. And have you seen those experiments when they kind of like tap the water and how the energy goes, or even with sand and the patterns it makes, and even snow, if you see the patterns that come out, it's, oh my God, they're so beautiful. It's just so amazing. And if they shout at the water, it changes the energy, doesn't it? And the patterns. Is that what it was about? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah. Emoto freezes water.
Yeah,
As it freezes, it becomes crystalline.
that's right.
So what he found is that whenever you have positive energy, if people focus on the water with positive energy, the crystal formations are beautifully symmetrical, and a little bit like snow, when you see a pure snowflake. But if you shout at the water or you create negative energy around it and then freeze it, it's not at all symmetrical, and it's really quite ugly and distorted, and the water reflects that nature. And also the environment. So if the environment is, if there are chemicals or toxins within the environment and you test the water, then it shows up in the same way.
I think he also did something experiments with rice and water.
I think he did, yeah.
Yes. And he also did that. Yeah, he did put the rice in. You can do this yourself. Put rice in 2 different jars or glasses, beakers, whatever, and you put your water in each of them, and then you separate them. And the one you verbally abuse it, it's really strange. Oh, I hate you. You're absolutely effing horrible. You're blah 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 blah. You are just disgusting. I just hate you, and all that. And then you leave.
All right, Maria, he isn't talking about you. Don't worry.
I was just gonna say.
Having just come into the conversation at that point.
and then he does the same with the other one. He says nice things to it, and it's, I love you. You are so beautiful.
Treat it with love.
Yeah, and just shower it with love, and then you leave them leave them separately for a few days, and the one that you've shown hatred to, the rice has gone all dark, and the water has gone putrid, whereas the one that you've shown love to is still quite pure. They actually did an experiment with some water from I can't remember the lake, Lake Fukushima, I think it was, which was polluted by
Yeah.
The nuclear bombs that were dropped on Japan, and this water is actually toxic. And they took and I think this is where the crystalline puts it. And you know, they actually found that by showing it love, they were able to actually purify it. It's absolutely phenomenal. I had a friend who did a similar experiment with some watercress. His daughter took 2 lots of watercress, and the one she abused verbally and shouted at it and screamed at it and told it, "I hate you, you are absolutely vile, you are horrible, you are blah, 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 blah." And then the other one, she showed it love. "Oh, you are so beautiful. I so love you so much." Oh, you know, all that, you know. And then she put them both on the windowsill, and the one that she'd shown hatred to, it all died within a matter of days. The one that she'd shown love to was like really high, you know, not that high, but you know, the watercress doesn't go that high, you know.
If you think about it, we are, I think it's about 84% water.
Yeah.
These are 84% water. So if you are putting bad water into your body, then you're not helping. But think about it. What you're doing is you're increasing your vibration, your frequency, and you're sending positive energy. So what you say to yourself mentally, verbally, what you hear in your environment makes a huge difference. So it's all about raising the vibration and the frequency in your body, in your thoughts, and everything that you do. So how important is it what we're listening to right now, what's actually having, what sort of effect it's actually having to us as human beings? And if we're made up of that much water, and if simple experiments like that can do that to rice and watercress and plants, you know, can you imagine what's going on now? So this is why we've got to raise the vibration and the frequency and help people and support each other in a bigger, better way.
Well, the energy in the environment is important, but the more important than anything is the energy that comes from within you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, we lose sight of people hold on to negativity. They hold on to negative experiences.
Right.
We carry them with us for years and years and years. And actually, they're completely self-destructive. And it's just finding a way of choosing to let go.
Yeah.
You know, and I think personally, I believe forgiveness is an important part of that. Not just forgiving other people, but also forgiving yourself, because on some level, whatever happens and whoever is to blame, if that's the right word, we always question somewhere deep down, did I do something that led to this? You know, so you have to forgive yourself as well. And I find that when you go through that process of letting go, forgiving other people, of forgiving yourself, you let go of the negativity, and all that you're left with is the positive stuff.
That's right.
Which is just the best. And it's a choice that we all make. You always have a choice. I tell my clients all the time, you always have a choice. It doesn't matter how much it may feel like you don't. You always do. You need to look at why you're making these decisions. What holds you back? Life itself is simple. We just, pardon my French, we fuck it up for ourselves. And that's what most of us do most of the time. None of us are perfect. It's a journey. You never get there to the end, but it's having that intention to make things better.
Yeah, and I think
I need to go, guys. My apologies.
Mike, nice to see you.
And you. Hopefully, I'll see
Take
you.
care.
Right. Bye-bye.
I think
Bye.
also, you know, like
Bye.
some people,
Bye. Hello.
bye day. But some people find it really difficult. They can't manage that, and they can't find it themselves. So it's all right to look outside and get help as well. That's really important. You know.
I mean, it's. I tend to think that a lot of things are very similar. And when I look at the business world, and I look at what I do in terms of mentoring and coaching business owners, you know, for me, 3 to 5% of them, if you give them the tools, if you give them the knowledge and the expertise, they'll do it on their own. If it goes wrong, they're savvy enough and intelligent enough to know that they just change something, tweak it, play around with it, try again. Yeah, if that doesn't work, we try again, and we just keep going until they get there. And 3 to 5% of people are like that. 95 to 97% actually need some sort of help. They need some degree of help. The problem is those in the 95 to 97% think they're 3 to 5%. They think they don't need any help. They think they can do it for themselves. And the reality is, in the main, most of them can't. And it's not until you realize that actually I need a little bit of help with this, you know, and sometimes stop blaming people, letting go of things, actually help you realize that you have the wherewithal to get where you want to be, but actually it involves somebody else working with you. You know, when the universe, law of attraction, when the universe provides you with what you need to achieve something, it isn't always inside you. Sometimes it's collaboration and working with people outside of you as well.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it's really, really important. But I think that goes for most things, really.
Yeah,
For the majority of us, we need a little bit of help and support at times.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's why I have my coaches.
Mm.
Yeah, one of the first things I always do if I'm going to work with a coach is I ask who theirs is. Because if they haven't got one, I'm not going to work with them. Because if they don't believe in it and actually do it themselves and utilize it, it's a bit bonkers, really.
Yeah, it's true.
That's it. Even a coach needs a coach.
That's right. It's like when people, you know, doing holistic therapy and the massage treatments and the Indian head massage and everything. I needed somebody to look after me. You know, I needed to make sure that I had a massage and I performed Reiki on myself, or I treated myself, because if I didn't, then it just becomes too much. But I knew at a certain point in my life, it's something that I couldn't do forever, because I wanted to make sure I looked after my body for the future, you know, my hands. So
one of the things I found that's really interesting is the more successful people are, when you start talking to them, the more you realize those are the people that tend to have coaches, and they're the 3 to 5% often really successful, and yet they go out and they seek coaches because they know they need them, even though they can do a lot of it on their own. You can't do it as quickly or efficiently or effectively on your own. Was it Brian Tracy? I think I've kind of read his stuff for years, but he always said that life isn't long enough for us to learn from all of our own mistakes. It's a much easier thing to do is to learn from other people's mistakes.
that's right.
That's it.
That's true. That's true. I've got two coaches. Karen is one of them. She's my life coach, and Ollie is, well, he on and off. He's my he's given me some business coaching as well. So
Cool.
both great. I've got a dash anyway. So
Nice to see you, JLX.
nice to see you again, Steve. Maria, Karen, Saroj. Well done. Brilliant.
So much.
See you later. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yes, I'm going to have to go shortly as well, I'm afraid, ladies.
Yeah.
Nice to see you, Maria. I don't think we've met before, have we?
No.
Maria's
No.
from Rhodes.
Sorry?
Maria's from Rhodes.
Rhodes, what, the Greek island?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Have you been?
I've not been to Rhodes specifically, but I would imagine the weather's a lot better there than it is here.
It's 65 today and sunny.
Well, at least we've had a sunny day. It's going a little bit overcast now, but it's a sunny day here as well. So how long have you lived out in Rhodes?
Well, my first 4 years, and then I spent the next 40 in America, and then I came back. So I've been here a total of 19 years in total.
Okay, and you were born out there.
Yes. Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, it's one of those places that's on the list to go.
That's how I met Karen and John.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, they came to the hotel where I was working.
Fantastic. My other half has been to Rhodes a couple of times, so she's got a particular hotel she wants to take me to. We were kind of half planning it for this year, but of course that's gone a bit by the wayside. We were meant to spend a month in Menorca last year. That got cancelled, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go.
There you
We'll
go.
catch up with it, won't we? We'll all catch up.
I'd like to go to Rhodes one day.
Come on my retreat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm still planning on running it.
Jolly good. Jolly good.
Yes, yeah.
Well, listen, ladies, thank you for welcoming me so warmly today. Saroj, great to hear your interview. Well done. And
Thank you.
nicely conducted, Karen, as well. I
Thank
think
you.
I've got mine on end of March, isn't it? Is it
End of March, yes. Looking forward to
28th or something? I can't
Yes,
remember.
dear.
Yeah, so I shall look forward to that. I thought I'd
Yep.
tap in today just to see how it all works.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Steve.
Nice to see you. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon. Ollie's, are you at Ollie's on Thursday?
Yeah. I think Natalie's is going to finish at 4, I think. So yeah.
I don't know whether I will be or not. The way my diary's going.
Well, if you are, I'll see you there. If
Yeah,
not,
okay,
I'll
that's
see you
it.
some other time.
Yeah. See you then, Steve.
Take care. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much for joining me for afternoon tea
Thank you.
today.
It's been a
Saroj.
pleasure, Karen. It's been a pleasure diving deeper into the infinite realms of Saroj. It sounds weird.